3ds Max 9 has a new feature called Hair and Fur, and this was developed for the film and games market where people are actually growing hair and fur for characters. But we can take advantage of this technology in the AEC market to grow grass, and we can use it in a wide variety of architectural situations. I'll take you through a demo of this system. It comes in the form of a modifier, and the material is handled through the modifier, which is very unusual. Start by creating a plane object and open the material editor. Assign a standard material to it and map the diffuse color with a bitmap. I'll choose a ground texture here representing the soil, and I'll adjust its real-world scale. So this is just the soil. To grow grass on that soil, assign a modifier to the plane. Hair and fur. It's a world space modifier. And immediately when you do that, you see a representation of that grass, as it were, on the surface. Now, it's preset with parameters that make hair look good. The first thing I want to do is change the material parameters to make this look more like grass. I'll change the root color to a dark green, and then I'll copy the root color into the tip color and make the tip color light green. Grass isn't as shiny as hair, so turn down specular and decrease glossiness a bit as well. At the top here we have the hair count, 15,000 strands. We're not seeing all of those strands here. This is just a simplified representation. Hair segments is the number of segments in a particular strand. This allows the strand to bend. If hair segments is set to 1, then all of the strands will be straight. Let's set that at 3. I'll decrease cut length to 20 units, or 20%, so that the grass is shorter. The frizz parameters control how much bending occurs, and you'll probably have more bending with hair than you would with grass. There are parameters for the root and the tip. So the roots are bending or frizzing about 15 degrees. And at the tip, let's say that's 40 degrees. Multi-strand parameters is a way of duplicating the number of strands that you have. I'll increase the count to 5, and then I'll splay them apart by increasing root and tip splay. This will give more of a sense of tufts of grass. Let's go ahead and render and see what we have. Do a test render. Notice that the soil is rendered first. Hair and fur is handled as a render effect, so it's calculated after the rendering is complete. That's what's going on right now. So we have some healthy looking grass now. It's possible to cut some of the grass by using the styling rollout. And these tools were primarily developed as if you were a barber, but we can use them to cut the grass. I'll click on Style, and then I'll select Haircut, and I can set the brush size with this slider. I'll cut some of the grass in here just by clicking a few times. And I'll finish styling. Render again, and you have to wait for the effect to be processed to see the result. So as you can see, I was able to cut some of the grass in that region. Let's say I want it to grow back. I'll go back into Style Hair mode and click on Pop Selected, and everything grows back. Another thing you might want to do is alter the density of the grass with a map. I'll use a cellular map for this purpose. To control that map, you can open the material editor and drag it in. Make sure you instance the map so that it will be connected to the map over here in the modifier. Now, this grayscale pattern will determine the density of the grass. As you can see, there's far less grass now because of the way that the cellular map is limiting the density with its grayscale pattern. So there's a lot you can do with this, and it really deserves your exploration. You can even make the grass blow in the wind if you get into that level of complexity.